All right, let's do it.
Hello everyone, my name is Nate. I'm going to try and turn on the charm if I have any for this. It's a laugh line. Now what is the app and how would it make money? Well, this is just a sample of what we're going to create. So you search a country, Nepal, then pops up, are you a tourist, worker, or operator? If you're a tourist, you'd see a display of all the companies. You'd see their certifications, then you'd see their reviews, you'd see how many expeditions they offer, and you could click and see what they do, and you'd see all the companies. Then you could filter by exactly what you're looking for, including a review score, expeditions offered, and their certifications. And then you can click on a company, and you can see their profile. So when they got their certifications, a little bio, popular treks for tourists. You go down and then you can, go to their website, contact them, or review. Actually, what's definitely more important is the worker and company interface. So for workers, they'd sign in, and if they're not registered, then essentially we make a LinkedIn for them, right? So they publish their profile picture, a bio, they publish their expeditions, what work they've done, the certification needed, and how many years they've done it, and all jobs are listed, right? All upload certifications, and after that, additional certifications. So if they have additional trainings like a woofer, a wilderness first responder, or basic first aid, or there's a tons of trainings. MWI Nepal Group would be responsible for adding and installing any new changes. So if there's a new job, or if there's something that, UIAA doesn't know everything about every country. So putting the people who know about their industry in charge and being able to adapt the app to their liking is the goal. Anyways, they list their certifications, then they add what expeditions they've done, how many times, what their role was, all their contact information, including ISOA here, which is like Venmo in America, so we can begin to help transfer money through the app. Not necessarily through it, but at least enabling workers and companies to connect more easily and transfer funds. Now that's for the worker. The worker would see all the companies, right? And then they'd see the same thing, almost the same thing a tourist sees. They'd click on ability to filter, and they'd also have the option to see what expeditions are available. So what are companies looking to hire workers for? They'd go back, they'd click on a company, they could check review score. They'd click on a company, and then they'd see a profile made for them, which is similar to the tourist, but differs in that they see available treks instead of popular treks. And then of course, they can request, contact, or review. And review is super important now because the industry, it's huge, and it will be thriving again once tourists come back. But the way workers and companies interact is not super, connected. So sometimes a company might not pay, and this isn't against companies, but something happens and a company doesn't pay, or there's some issue and the worker gets ousted in the end. Now, the worker can review the company and begin to say, like, hey, this is what happened in my case, blah, blah, blah. And of course, this is a two-way street. If a worker doesn't work with the money he's given, or doesn't satisfy the agreement, or, runs, who knows? I mean, for example, right now, 3 clients might ask for a trip, which leads to 2 porters. But when the 2 porters are hired in a distant city without being super connected to the company, one porter might say, I want to carry double the load, and it's agreed, okay. The company doesn't know. Now the trek starts, and one client wants to go a different direction, but he can't now. There's only one porter, so 2 can't separate. So the company loses that possible funds. And now, whereas the worker could just continue to do this, the company can then review. Now the worker also has a profile section, which I think this is a really important part. Through these guidelines, we're making rights, basically. So first we have their profile that they can edit, then we give all of their rights directly. Hey, you can take an acclimatization day after this long, et cetera, et cetera. Furthermore, there hasn't been something like this, and there's tons of NGOs that have already been established that help in so many different ways. Keep an organization that's like a clothing bank. There's tons of them. So we give them all their resources possible, right? And then a company can then send a request to a worker saying, hey, we want you to work. Here's the details. If you accept, then you see that, you see the whole project right up. What are the financial details? When do I have to be where? And then if you further accept, this is what I think is dope, is right now if you cancel your trek as a client or your expedition 1 week before, the company gets 30% booking fee, non-refundable, but the worker gets nothing. So through this app, we can give the worker a 30% booking fee of their wages, right, is equal to what the company's getting as well, and we can use that ISOA money transfer That would be dope. That would give them some protection. Now, of course, a worker can then send the same request to a company and say, hey, I worked for you, and they can outline any additional jobs, like did they summit, did they set ropes, how many days did it take them to set ropes. These are things we're hashing out in the guidelines that lead to a little bit more pay, right? If you're gonna work more, you get more money. That's the worker interface. Company interface is quite similar. You know, they sign in. If they don't have an account, then they register, and they create a profile, and here they upload all the government necessary certifications. And we're deciding if we make these TON and NMA mandatory, or if you don't have them. Because if you don't have them, you're not following the industry standards, but maybe your company still exists, so maybe it would be listed, but you couldn't see any details. We have to do whatever the whole group agrees upon. I know many want to keep TON mandatory and NMA if you have expeditions. And yeah, of course, just want to add, like, our goal is to work with all people equally, so. Yeah, we don't make enemies, just the goal is to work with people and get whatever everyone can agree on to make this app together, because we need everyone. TON, NMA, yeah. So you can say, a company says what expeditions they offer, what are popular for tourists, what are available for workers, and then their contact information, same as a worker. The company then sees the workers. You see a worker's skills. So if he has porter skills, or if he has cook skills, if he has a guide and then advanced guide skills, there's so many other jobs. Set ropes, ladders, tents. Are you a high camp cook? We'll make a little image for all of them. And then you can, of course, click, see the reviews. You can filter by what worker you're looking for, how many years of experience, things like that. Their review score, possibly, we'll see. And then you click on any worker and you see their profile. And then you see what expeditions they've done, how many times, what their role was. You see all their certifications. Anyways, you see what years they got their certifications, all of them, the recent treks they've done, and then of course the same system, request, contact, or review. That's for operators, and the goal is of course to bring this everywhere, all around the world. Argentina, Nepal, Tanzania, Russia. So anyways, thank you. Now, let's ride. Let's see how far we can go.
I still want to do it.
Well, you just capture. We have a meeting with Alfred in Nepal. I just texted them and said we'll be a little late because we had some camera issues, and I had some issues with the presentation I was adjusting. So that would be the first meeting, seeing what he thinks about the app.